The Nigerian Air Force confirms cause of its recognizance Beechcraft crash, killing 7 crew. Hope rises for the safe return of Kagara Government Science College students as 53 kidnapped passengers of Niger State Transport Authority regain freedom. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us. This is Panorama. I'm Ruth Aguele. The Nigerian Air Force says its recognizance Beechcraft aircraft, which crashed killing 7 NAF crew aboard, was an accident caused by engine failure. Defense correspondent Najata Tijani has more to tell us.
News of the crash first broke on social media when the Minister of Aviation, Hadi Sirika, tweeted about it, saying the incident was still under investigation by the Nigerian military. Shortly after, the Nigerian Air Force confirmed the incident in a tweet, saying all 7 personnel, 3 officers and 4 airmen did not survive the crash, which occurred shortly after the pilot reported engine failure. The King Air B350I Beechcraft, which crashed NAV 201, was en route an ISR mission, an intelligence, surveillance and reconnaissance mission, before the crash occurred. It played key roles in ISR missions leading to the destruction of Boko Haram and bandit camps, as well as providing valuable information in rescue operations. In 2018, a Nigerian Air Force aerial display rehearsal for the October 1st Independence Day celebrations turned tragic in September 2018 when 2 F-7NI fighter jets collided mid-air, resulting in a crash on Katampe Hills along the Kubwa Expressway, Abuja, leading to the death of 1 pilot while the others sustained injuries. And in Nigerian Air Force history, the most notable air crash occurred 26 September 1992 when a Nigerian Air Force Lockheed C-130 Hercules aircraft serial number 911 crashed 3 minutes after takeoff from Lagos. It was reported that 3 engines failed, leading to the crash. Najatu Tijani, NTA News.
In Niger State, the 53 passengers of the Niger State Transport Authority bus abducted along Mina-Tegina Road in the past week have been released. The State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello, while receiving the victims, says concerted efforts are ongoing to secure the release of the students of Government Science College Kagara and others still in captivity. Let's hear more from Hussaina Musa.
The captives, comprising 24 men, 20 women and 9 children with signs and symptoms of malnutrition and tiredness, were received by the Niger State Governor Abubakar Sani Bello at the Government House, Mina. 1 week horrendous experience in the hands of their captors will no doubt remain with them for a long time to come. The Niger State Government acknowledged that both kinetic and non-kinetic strategies were employed to secure the release of the abductees.
They've been in the hands of their captives for over a week. They've been through tremendous trauma. We're grateful to God Almighty for guiding us, for protecting them, for showing us the way to secure their release.
The victims are currently undergoing both physical and mental evaluation before they can be reunited with their families. The state government also reassures of its commitment to profile a lasting solution to security challenges bedeviling the state. 8 out of the 61 passengers had earlier been rescued on the 16th of this month. Emena Hussaina Musa, NTA News.
Chief of Army Staff Major General Ibrahim Atahiru has given a marching order to troops on front line to clear Marte, Kiranoa up to Chikingudu, general areas of Boko Haram terrorists within 48 hours, while the Army boss gave the directive while on operational visit to Army Super Camp 9 in Dikwa. Maimuna Garba reports.
National visit by the Chief of Army Staff Major General Ibrahim Atahiru was to motivate troops on front line to further intensify their onslaught against the terrorists General Attahiru charged the troops to be alive to their responsibilities and fight through to defeat the insurgents within their area of responsibilities, assuring them of his support. He equally charged commanders to do the needful so as not to let the nation down, promising to look into the issue of overstaying of soldiers and provision of adequate kits.
In the last few days, we had attacks in your area of responsibility. It is now high time we get back and fight through and support our forces ahead of you. Areas around Marte, Chukungudu, Kerenwa, up to Kita will go must be cleared in the next 48 hours.
The Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Attahiru, has also addressed residents of Dikwa, where he called for collective efforts to end the insurgency. While assuring the residents of the military's untiring efforts to restoring peace to the region, General Attahiru enjoined them to provide necessary information and support to security operatives. In Maiduguri, Maimuna Garba, NTA News.
TIF traditional chiefs in Abuja Municipal Area Council have stood for unity of purpose and sharing of ideas by stakeholders to tackle security challenges in the country. This was at a meeting of the TIF community in Abuja. Joseph Orton reports.
These are TIF ethnic people in Abuja meeting to find ways of improving not only their welfare but also that of other Nigerians. This, they note, can only happen in a peaceful and harmonious atmosphere, and that is what the community is drawing attention to.
I want peace. My people, my tea people, when you go back, I don't want to hear any problem between a tea man with any other tribe or a tea man with his own tea brother and sister.
We believe that when you live in harmony with one another, development comes.
The gathering culminated to the presentation of the newly elected Te Utiv Amak, Zaki Stephen Kuma, to the Ohemen Utiv Zaki Ame Joseph by the TIF Traditional Council in Abuja.
Our people shall, however, key into the peace initiative of our President, Muhammadu Buhari. We do not condone kidnapping, banditry, rape, insurgency, and youth unrest.
The central message is for Nigerians to understand that there is so much they can gain from the country's diversity. Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
To achieve its mandate of lifting Nigerians out of poverty, Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is training 98 independent monitors for successful implementation of National Social Investment Program in Plateau State. Alisa Batu Kaye Andrew reports.
8 independent monitors representing the 17 local government areas of Plateau State will be equipped to assess the impact of all the components of the Integrated National Social Investment Program, which comprises the NPOWER, National Homegrown School Feeding Program, Conditional Cash Transfer, and the Government Enterprises and Empowerment Program. The Humanitarian Affairs Minister Sadiya Farouk Umar represented says engaging independent monitors enhances feedback for effective implementation of the program.
From lessons learned, we decided that in order to give the public, a chance to also monitor whether these programs that are being run through the ministry are actually reaching the grassroots. This is with a view not only to tell us how it is working, but also to give citizens who are the taxpayers to have an opportunity to find out whether actually what the government said it is doing, it is actually doing it.
So we're going to give in 100% of what we've been taught here today.
I'm expected to give a good report back to the government.
I'll make sure that I do my duties responsibly, make sure that whatever is meant for them gets to them.
Key players in Plateau State react.
Introduction of independent monitors at this time will also make everybody to sit up, especially those at the grassroots.
I urge you to discharge your responsibility very well after the training so that Nigeria will grow.
The National Social Investment Program was created in 2016 by President Muhammadu Buhari to help lift citizens out of poverty and hunger. In Jos, Alisa Batukai Andrew, NTA News.
Nigeria is to establish a water resources fund to assist state governments to invest more in water supply for domestic and agricultural purposes. Minister of Water Resources Suleiman Adamu, who spoke at a forum of Nigerian Institution of Water Engineers in Abuja, said the fund, a major component of the proposed national water bill, will enhance access to water by Nigerians. Kelvin Ehonwahe reports.
Portable water supply has remained elusive for many Nigerians, with many parts of the country relying on boreholes to access water. To bridge this wide gap, the Water Resources Fund will enable state governments to take water supply as a major issue, an area the minister says they have performed poorly. He challenged water engineers in the country to get ready to be involved in the implementation of many aspects of the National Water Bill when it comes on stream.
If you don't regulate, you don't have rules and regulations on how to govern our rivers, pollution, diversion. If we don't have laws, anybody, one individual or a state can decide to divert a river.
Can you open your tap and see water anyhow? You cannot. Everybody is putting boreholes. How many boreholes do you think you can put? Do you think it's sustainable?
The opportunities available for young engineers to make an impact in the sector was the focus of discussions at the event, also used to inaugurate a new national president for the Nigerian Institution of Water Engineers, Chinyere Nnenna Igwebe. In Abuja, Kelvin Ehonwahe, NTA News.
The bipartite meeting between the federal government and organized labor has resolved that appropriate pricing leading to a reduction in the prices of gas by companies supplying gas to generating and distribution companies be effected for downward review in electricity tariff. Now, this is when both parties adopted the report of the Technical Committee on Electricity Tariff.
For now, the gas pricing to the generating companies is actually at $2.80, and we have proposed that it should be reduced to $1.50. That will actually affect also the downward review of the electricity tariff. We have also looked at the inefficiency in the system, especially metering, which had become a major problem. But fundamentally, we have also said that the entire privatization process is due for review.
We adopted the report of the Electricity Committee, made some adjustment, and transformed that technical committee into an implementation committee. They are now a standing committee to implement all the recommendations they gave to us here. You know, some paperwork has to be done, and once that is done, the price of ampere of electricity will go down, and once it goes down, the consumers will benefit.
On petrol, Labour has proposed a local refinery template used by most OPEC countries, where production cost pricing method used before 1998 for fixing the prices of petrol was adopted.
Using the import pricing method, which I think is only Nigeria out of the OPEC countries that have been using that method. That entails that 100% of what we consume will be imported. That is, you sell your crude oil, then you import finished product. That, to us, is not sustainable. It's exporting our jobs. And our first priority is to see how the refineries can be fixed.
Like I said, work in progress. The governors are going to discuss this on Thursday. They have discussed this at the National Economic Council. And so everybody is involved because we find ourselves in dire straits. No money for subsidy.
Respondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports that progress on the new resolutions adopted are expected to be reported in April by the Committee on Electricity and Premium Motor Spirit. Right, let's go on a break. We're back. You stay tuned.
For now, the best and most efficient way to avoid getting infected is through regular hygienic and sanitary practices, as well as social distancing. As individuals, we remain the greatest weapon to fight this pandemic. By washing our hands regularly with clean water and soap, disinfecting frequently used surfaces and areas, coughing into a tissue or elbow, and strictly adhering to infection prevention control measures in health facilities, we can contain this virus.
coronavirus is real. Steps to avoid this pandemic. Wash your hands regularly or sanitize your hands. Keep social and physical distancing. Avoid crowded places. Stay at home unless absolutely necessary. Don't touch your eyes, nose, or mouth if your hands are not clean. Avoid the spread of coronavirus. Coronavirus is real. Thanks for staying tuned. The federal government has pledged commitment to the provision of good road network in rural communities across the country. The Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, made this known at the inauguration of a 3.5-kilometer road in Onuimo local government area of Imo State. Beatrice Anyam has details.
The 3.5-kilometer Umucheke-Ukwe Road in Onimo local government area of Imo State is part of the COVID-19 intervention projects of the federal government for rural communities in the country, especially the agrarian communities. Minister of State for Budget and National Planning, Clem Agba, says President Muhammadu Buhari approved 34 billion naira for the construction of rural roads along agricultural corridors, of which 377 are ongoing. This, according to him, is aimed at achieving food security in the country.
Because we understand from analyses that have been done that about 50 to 60% of what is produced gets lost. It does not get to the market. And so we say, as a low-hanging fruit, the first thing to do is to ensure that we create access for that food that is produced to easily get to the market before we start expanding the acreages for food production.
The Minister, Federal Minister of Agriculture and Rural Development, the supervising ministry of the road project, was represented by the Southeast Director of the ministry, Felix Kahis.
We are particularly happy with the quality of work done by the contractor.
Present at the occasion were stakeholders from the area, including member representing Okigwe North Federal Constituency, Miriam Onoha. The construction of the access road has therefore brought relief to the people whose major concern over the years has been how to transport their farm produce to major markets in the state. From Onimo local government area of Imo State, I am Beatrice Anyam, NTA News.
And more on infrastructure, Osun State Governor Boyega Oyetola has reaffirmed his administration's commitment to massive infrastructural development of the state. The governor made the promise while flagging off an immediate construction of a 625 meters flyover at the Olaya intersection in Oshogbo, hitherto known for incessant accident and traffic gridlock. Joshua Ogunjide reports.
The proposed flyover is a fourth span of 15 meters each with two underpass bays for U-turning to Fakunle Just Right and MDS post office areas. The popular road network is similarly designed to accommodate articulated vehicles with intelligent lighting devices and smart traffic control devices with the expectation of 9 months completion.
Our administration is committed to providing relevant infrastructure that supports the prosperity of our people. With this project and many more across our state, we are keeping faith with our promise.
The project is estimated at 3,108,379,829 naira 76 kobo. The project is being bankrolled through the Alternative Project Funding Approach (APFA).
The flyover will have a lot of features. It will be a tourist, in quotes now, attraction for Oshogbo town because it's a unique design.
If the guests or investors see a developmental project, especially in terms of transportation, when there is no hold up when there is free flow of vehicles across the capital. Definitely this will encourage people to invest more.
Members of the public are therefore enjoined to observe the road signs and cooperate with law enforcement agencies to make the road diversions as seamless and smooth as possible. In Osogbo, Joshua Ogujide, NTA News.
Right, let's bring you an update on COVID-19. The Nigeria Center for Disease Control has announced 521 new cases of COVID-19 in the country. The latest figures released bring the total number of confirmed cases to 152,074 infections in the country. A breakdown of the new cases indicates that Lagos recorded the highest number for the day with 166 new cases, while Ogun has 52 new cases. Others are Rivers 47, Adamawa and Ebonyi 37, Akwa Ibom 25, Osun 21, Bayelsa 18, Kaduna 17, Oyo 16, FCT 15, Ekiti 14, Kano and Edo 12, Borno 9, Yobe 8, Ondo 6, Nasarawa 4, Kwara 3 and Bauchi 2. A breakdown of confirmed cases by states indicates that Lagos has the highest with 54,613, followed by the FCT with 18,995, while Plateau comes third with 8,829 cases. With the latest development, total number of 128,619 cases have been successfully treated and discharged, while 1,839 patients have died, unfortunately. The Ekiti State COVID-19 Task Force has sealed off some supermarkets in the state for violating COVID-19 protocols, while the team also apprehended some individuals for non-compliance with the use of face mask in public places, which contravenes the COVID-19 prevention law of the state. Kola Adebobui reports.
With the spike in the cases of COVID-19 and concern about the non-compliance with the COVID-19 protocols, the state government sealed off the affected supermarkets in accordance with the COVID-19 Disease Health Protection 2021 law, a regulation which makes the use of face masks mandatory. The task force also arrested some violators and to be prosecuted to send warning signals to the public and as means to prevent the increasing rate and the second wave of the pandemic.
We saw that people are really relaxed in following the protocols and the guidelines that were laid down for different sectors, different industries, and all of that. To kind of resensitize them and do a level of compliance monitoring and check their compliance level and issue warnings and also take some people to court, prosecute some people that are endangering the lives of the Ekiti people.
The state task force, while also visited other public places like filling stations, commercial institutions, as well as eateries, expressed displeasure over nonchalant attitude of many to COVID-19 protocols and affirmed that the COVID-19 protocols will be enforced strictly. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebobui, NTA News.
And what's happening in the sports world? To find out, Sports Update is next.
ENYIMBA International reached the group stage of the 2021 CAF Confederation Cup after a 5-4 penalty victory over Rivers United at the Adokie Amesi Amaka Stadium in Port Harcourt on Sunday. Fortune Omoniwari's strike in the closing stage of the first half was enough for Rivers United to tie 1-1 on aggregates and force the lottery of sports kicks after the second leg.
And now they can say we are back in this tie.
Both sides missed one sports kick each in the first 5 kicks before goalkeeper John Noble scored the 6th for ENYIMBA International after Rivers United's Israel Emmanuel missed from the spot. Meanwhile, in the Nigeria Professional Football League, Enugu Rangers moved 4th on the log after Echi Amaka Madu's strike secured them a 1-0 victory over Kwara United on Matchday 11 on Sunday. In other results, MFM FC of Lagos beat Adamawa United 2-0 at the Agege Township Stadium as Abia Warriors recorded a resounding 4-1 victory over Warri Wolves. Lobby Stars beat 10-man Kano Pillars by the same scoreline at the Ape Aku Stadium courtesy of a 5th-minute strike by Austin Ogunye. Dakada versus Wiki Tourist of Bauchi match was postponed after the fire incident to Tourists Team Bus, and Rivers United versus ENYIMBA match also got rescheduled due to CAF engagements. In tennis, world number 1 Novak Djokovic says he's not in the mood to relinquish his status to the younger generation after a 7-5, 6-2, 6-2 victory over Russia's Daniil Medvedev at the Rod Laver Arena. The 33-year-old shrugged off a stomach problem to produce an emphatic display over his 25-year-old opponent in Melbourne and claim his 18th Grand Slam title. The Serbian currently sits second on the all-time list of most Grand Slam titles won, with Roger Federer and Rafael Nadal as the most successful with 20 titles each.
And that's Panorama. Thank you very much for your company. But remember, the fight against rape and rapists is not over until it's over. All you have to do, connect with NTA. I'm Ruth Aguela. Bye.
Thank you.